Welcome to Reddit All. What are people slowly starting to forget? How much time and energy goes into making the stuff all around you? Everybody knows exactly how a pencil works, but no one can create a normal pencil by himself. That people call for other reasons too. Editing, wow, many thanks to the kind people who gave me my first gold and silver award and all the other kind messages. As someone with allergies, I don't think people realize it's allergy season, so there's no reason to give me dirty looks when I sneeze. Edit, I'm getting a lot of replies telling me to wear a mask because then people wouldn't worry and I look responsible. I don't know what made people assume I don't wear one, but my allergies don't really go away when I wear a mask, lol. Panama Papers. Unpopular opinion. The main reason people are forgetting about it is because most of the people implicated weren't American, Western European, which Reddit heavily markets towards. Seeing Messi and Putin's questionable finances isn't going to have the same effect that seeing Clinton, Trump, or any major American celebrity's wealth would. Felicity Huffman and the college cheating scandal got way more coverage for a reason. When to own something you had to pay only once. Now almost everything is subscription-based, requires paid upgrades, DLC, plugins and so on. Just looked at buying a treadmill for cold weather and stormy days, and what do you know? Almost all the brands available in brick-and-mortar stores require subscriptions before you can turn them on for the first time. $180 a year for the privilege of operating a $1,200 machine in my own dwelling. World War I. No veterans left and overshadowed by World War II. On a similar note, the Korean War. Overshadowed by Vietnam, although there are still veterans alive. Neighbors. In the late 90s our neighborhood used to have block parties where someone would have a big barbecue and everyone would come hang out and have a good time. I was pretty young at the time, I don't know who hosted or organized this, but now nobody talks to anyone. Edit, it was in a suburb BTW. I'm not sure if people ever did those outside of suburbs. That the US had the longest government shutdown not that long ago. I actually did forget that. People have already started to forget that Trump was impeached a few months ago. COVID came in and really swallowed the event up pretty quickly. The Clowns with Knives of 2016. Do we even know what that was all actually about? I heard it was supposed to be an independent movie being made or something. I also wonder if it was just a prank that people kept copying over and over. What a world war is really like. Foreshadowing. Don't even make that joke. Oofta. The Patriot Act allows the government to take everything of yours without charge and lock you up indefinitely as long as they deem it a national security issue without any proof. National security meaning whatever the hell they want it to mean. National security is the card countries play when human rights need to be violated legally. That Reddit is just another social media platform susceptible to misinformation, full of ignorant, corruptible and misguided people. Edit, wow, just woke up and found my first ever awards. Thanks strangers, but I only reflect and repeat wisdom of people wiser than me. No it isn't. I know for sure that my knowledge on everything is right. Why else would thousands of other people say the same thing after reading the same article as me? The article is definitely accurate, too. It agrees with me and I'm right, so it's obviously right. How the US Constitution works and how much power the people are truly supposed to hold. People really should read the Constitution. Before even getting to the Bill of Rights, they should read about the federal offices in Article 1 and why they exist. Phone numbers. When's the last time you actually memorized one? 011899988199911197253. Netflix that would arrive in the mail. They still offer that service though. The Las Vegas shooter's motive was never revealed. I think people forget about the shooting itself. Being the deadliest mass shooting in US history, it got like a week or two of coverage and talk from everybody and then it was like it was just swept under the rug and you didn't hear anything about it anymore. Hong Kong protests, Tibet, Uyghurs in concentration camps, Israel-Palestine conflicts. Basically every social issue has been destroyed by COVID. Also, a literal homophobic genocide in Chechnya. The Caucasus gets ignored in general. That the quarantines and lockdowns were to slow the spread of COVID-19 and not to eradicate it. I would say a lot of people aren't forgetting it, they straight never understood it. Just the other day my siblings and I were talking to my dad and he asked us how many people we thought were going to get the virus. None of us was able to get him to understand that the answer was probably everyone. It's like he's in denial or something. Democracy isn't a given. Even when you're told you have it, it's not a given you actually do. That a massive Boeing jet with 239 people on board disappeared and we still don't really know WTF happened. Edit, easily the highest upvoted comment I've had. I was halfway joking with my post, but honestly for me it just really solidified just how much fucking ocean our Earth is. The Malaysian flight. Oh man. They even looked in the wrong ocean. The wrong ocean. Edit, did not expect my highest rated comment to be based off a Kathleen Madigan reference. I'm not surprised, but I still didn't see it coming. Cheers, folks. Others' past embarrassments, even though we still hold on to ours. Nah, I don't forget the guy who farted in the quiet zone of the library. It happens and I feel for him, but I still remember. Yeah, the fact that I still remember some other people's embarrassing stuff means some people remember mine. Amazon rainforest getting messed up really bad. Bolsonaro is honestly probably the largest piece of rat feces on Earth. That a government should fear its people, not the other way around. Politicians need to be reminded that they work for us, not the other way around. The fires in Australia. That wasn't that long ago, but it feels like 10 years. This whole year has felt like 10 years and it's only May. My dad died a week ago. Starting to forget his voice, face and himself. Rafiki, look down there. Slowly Simba walks to the edge of the watering hole and peers inside. His reflection stares back at him. Adult Simba, that's not my father. That's just my reflection. Rafiki, no. Look harder. Rafiki touches the water which causes waves that change Simba's reflection into Mufasa. Rafiki, you see? He lives in you. That before the EPA and environmental ordinances, the pollution was so bad that major cities occasionally had days they had to keep the street lights on during the day because the sun was blotted out. How big a deal Princess Diana was. Think Meghan Markle x 10,000. How much of a wildfire her death was. How it was all the whole damn world obsessed about for months. Brexit, unless you are British. Or European. It's still a pretty big topic and will be again when the 2-year changeover thing is up. That weird period around 2007-ish when everybody owned one of those big red bullshit buttons. That Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. It's so funny how if you were rich or in politics, it was just literally impossible to not be friends with Jeffrey Epstein. How to navigate using a paper map. Forget using a map. Just being spatially aware of geography. I know too many people who don't know where one town or area is relative to another, they just go turn by turn all the time. Connie 2012. Easily the most underrated candidate. It's a shame he's not running for president again in 2020. For PC gaming, that games used to have an unlimited lifespan. You could just modify a game in any way you like it. Because it was normal to see total conversions or server-side mods that completely change your game. Nowadays the average game has about a 2-year lifespan and maybe about 4 years before the company decides servers will be shut down. People are slowly starting to forget how to think for themselves. Doesn't matter what the subject is, people just listen to someone else's thoughts, opinions on the subject and then just reiterate them without understanding it completely by themselves. You say that, but I'm not convinced most people ever knew how to think for themselves in the first place. The Tesla in space. I feel like there is a dead hooker in that trunk. Close to the perfect crime really. Polio, and generally a world without vaccines. Every time I see unprecedented in the media these days I think, oh, it's precedented, You just don't remember it. Liberty dies with thunderous applause. I killed Liberty, and not just Lady Liberty, but also man and child Liberty. Water in Flint. I stopped hearing about it and assumed the situation was resolved. Silly me. They have a life other than social media. I'm glad we're all connected because I like to know what is going on in the world, but I agree that we're too hung up on social media. That it is okay to agree to disagree and still have a civilized conversation. That fact overrule your emotions and or feelings. How we really live before the internet. Truth. Objective truth. We are in the age of disinformation and people are actually being conned into thinking that truth is subjective and their minds are being manipulated by loudmouth idiots with a dangerous objective. Working 5 days a week. Thank you for watching video.